sitting down yesterday with his Louis Vuitton luggage watching football. If Deion Sanders and Colorado win out,
this ain't got nothing to do with the naysayers, the unbelievers, the haters, the doubters. This is about us.
They are playing for the Big 12 championship, which means they are playing for a spot in the college football playoff.
Well, now tuned in to the Dark Times channel.
And so here we go again. Welcome back to the Dark Times channel. And before I get started, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button for me. And if you're not new to the channel and you've been enjoying the content so far on this channel, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me as well. And so let's go ahead and get into it. Let's dive right in. The latest AP college poll came out and they got Colorado ranked at 21.
This dawned on us after Iowa State went down to Texas Tech and Kansas State lost to Hugh Fritz in a building Houston team. Sitting down yesterday with his Louis Vuitton luggage watching football. If Deion Sanders and Colorado win out, they are playing for the Big 12 championship, which means they are playing for a spot in the college football playoff.
No, and it was a good day for Colorado. I mean, I had some people say, well, Cam Ward won the Heisman. No, he didn't, because Travis Hunter was in the key battleground state of Pennsylvania yesterday campaigning, and he got more out of being on all the morning shows than Cam Ward did beating Duke.
And so absolutely it was a great day for Colorado. And Colorado couldn't have asked for a better Saturday, especially one in which they didn't even have to suit up. Coach Prime was out at the ranch, chilling, relaxing, getting some much needed rest, I'm sure.
Let me explain something to you. We're in the country. We hunt. We have wild hogs. We have a lot of snakes, moccasins, all types of snakes. Coyotes. What else we have, son? Everything.
A Saturday in which they were able to climb the rankings and find themselves in position that if they win out, they're in the Big 12 championship. And aside from that, I said the same thing as Paul Feinbaum in a previous video. It was a great day for Travis Hunter because Travis Hunter was able to go on College Game Day and represent himself, do a little politicking, do a little campaigning, because he's not getting the recognition that he deserves. And so he had to take his show on the road a little bit.
Yeah. So Travis, I need you to coach me up on something.
I got you.
Because I had a couple guys through the years that could have played both ways. I could never figure out how to get them to practice in a way that they could go play in the game. So how do you prepare every week to play both ways?
I try to get at least 10 hours of film. Nobody can stop you. I mean, Coach Brown tried to stop me every day I go out there and practice, and I won't let him.
You also know how to hit the Heisman pose. Show him, Mark. Show him, Matt. And 3 Heisman maybe in a row.
So, I know my friend Stephen A. Smith continues to let anyone know that that's the biggest story in college football this year. It could be, it's not yet, but the fact that literally on election day, we're talking about Colorado being legitimate and not just some fake story made on a Hollywood stage set is pretty remarkable.
You see, in that comment right there is why Coach Prime has issues with the media. That little passive-aggressive comment by Paul Feinbaum, insinuating that somehow Colorado's season last year was manufactured, or at least their relevance was manufactured, is problematic. And it's problematic in this sense. Nobody said at the beginning of the season when Coach Prime took over the previous year that Colorado was going to be in contention. Nobody even thought that they were going to win their conference. But the story was Coach Prime coming in there with his sons, Shedeur Sanders, Shiloh Sanders, with the #1 recruit overall the previous year in Travis Hunter. And then on top of that, it's Deion Sanders. It's prime time.
Fans, teammates, coaches, friends, the show has just begun.
We're talking about one of the greatest athletes of all time, one of the greatest football players to be able to do it on both ends. And not only that, we're talking about a dual sport professional player. Played professional baseball and he played professional football, and he was a star. And so all that culminated into the story and the attention that they got last year.
Paul, they come out of the bye week. I'm going to give you Colorado's schedule. And we were joking about it last night. I even used you as an example. I said, if this happens, I don't care that Paul Feinbaum's on the SEC Network. His show is going to have to go to the Big 12 championship. Because here's what Prime has left. At Texas Tech. Texas Tech got the big win against Iowa State yesterday. Lubbock's a tough place to play. 4 p.m. It can get weird over there. Utah, who's having a really bad year, but they're still Utah. at Kansas, who's struggled this year. I believe they've only got 2 wins on the season. They're 2-6. And then Oklahoma State, who just got bludgeoned by Arizona State yesterday. If you wanted a schedule to go into potentially a Big 12 championship game against BYU, Paul, they could literally come out of nowhere and be in the college football playoff, which I don't know what we would do.
Yeah, no, listen, I am, for all the things that have been said, doesn't matter. I mean, I'm pulling for them. I think it's an extraordinary story, and I'll continue to compliment Deion Sanders. He finally got the right. I think once he realized he had a pretty good team and didn't have to sell the team or attack the media, they've become a really fun program to watch.
And so that was an interesting little take by Paul Feinbaum. Now, why would Coach Prime, why would Deion Sanders have to sell his program? Maybe because he had individuals like Paul Feinbaum talking like this.
Anyone asking whether Deion Sanders and Colorado are close to the playoffs simply doesn't understand the reality of the road. They're not going to the playoffs this year, and I'm not sure Deion Sanders is ever going to get them to the playoffs. Colorado is nothing. They don't matter. They're irrelevant in the big picture of college football.
And Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, did what any good coach would do, any good motivating coach would do, because that's what I consider Coach Prime. And I know he knows his X's and O's. I know he knows how to strategize playing in the NFL, playing at the highest level. But his gifts and his strength lies in his ability to be able to motivate people around him. And we can't say one coaching archetype is better than the other. All that matters is that you win. And one of the ways Coach Prime knows how to win is he can motivate people. He can get young men to believe in themselves. He can get people to believe things that they didn't even believe themselves. And what's more powerful than that? Having a group of young minds that you can shape and you can mold and you can build up and get them to buy in and get them to believe that they can actually win this thing. They can actually go out here and compete for a national championship. And then on top of that, you back it up. You keep winning week after week. You're climbing the rankings. After 2 years, now you're in a bowl game, especially Paul Feinbaum have an issue with it. And now he's somehow trying to take credit.
And you and I pay attention a lot. Deion has not been as vocal the last month. Am I right or wrong about that?
You're right, and I take all the credit for that, Matt. I mean, I was all over him and about, win some games.
Like, yeah, all he had to do was listen to me and shut up and stop talking so much. Just focus on football. That's all he had to do. And so they won't even let him take the credit for turning this program around. He has to find some way to insert himself. Instead of giving Coach Prime all the credit, he has to find a way to try to insert himself to take a little bit of the shine away. And I think that's very telling. I think that's very telling indeed. But it's neither here nor there. They still got to suit up and they still got to play despite what anybody says. They still got to go out and do their thing. And I'm all for it, as I know you guys are as well. And so I think that's going to be a wrap on this one. Make sure you guys go ahead and chime in below. Let's keep the conversation going. Let me know how y'all feel about it. And as usual, peace and chaos.